You have copies of our IDs from M&T already, or no? I don't remember sending it to you.
I know. Did you send it directly to M&T?
It's a DocuSign.
Yeah.
I think it did go directly to them.
I know. I just don't. You can always email me the number if you don't.
Once yeah. I just emailed it.
Okay.
Good morning. I would like to welcome everybody to the Board of Directors meeting of the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency. We're currently at the DWB Building, 201 West 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York. We're also live stream on YouTube and Zoom. It's currently 11:05 on November 28th.
Wait, 11:05?
10:05.
Thank you.
We're glad to have Millen with us this morning, keeping me in line. Off track here. And I already stated before the start of the meeting that I never make a mistake. And I myself,
Sorry, Gary, that's fine.
the first 30 seconds, I've already made my first mistake. So you'll have to bear with me.
And it's recorded.
And it's recorded, right? So we'll go ahead and start with roll call. Gary Henry is here. Brad Walters.
Here.
Sagan Sheffield Smith.
Here.
Dan Hetzenrader. Here. Stephen Thorpe.
Here.
Dan DeMart. Here. And Amy Harding.
Here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You should have already received the minutes from the October 24th meeting, had a chance to review those. Sagan did point out one correction that we're going to take a look at. We double check the name of an approval. Other than that, did we have any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Sagan. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Dan. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes have been approved. We'll go ahead and move into new business A, and we'd like to welcome Amy Harding to our board. And I would think Mark has a few things he'd like to share.
Yeah. So welcome, Amy.
Thank you.
Amy is joining our board. She was approved by the legislature at their last meeting. And she will be filling Jay Churchill's term, which goes to the end of this year, and then she'll be reappointed by the legislature for another 2-year term. Amy joined Lakeshore Savings Bank in 1997, and she has more than 30 years of banking experience, and her expertise is in lending and development. And through a series of promotions, Amy has held positions including teller, personal banker, mortgage specialist, assistant manager, and manager, and is currently serving as vice president and regional sales manager. She studied business administration at JCC and attended numerous courses and seminars in banking and management from the Center of Financial Training. She has served on the allocations committee for the United Way for 9 years. And she's also served on the board of the Chautauqua Safety Village for the past 7 years and is currently serving as treasurer. She is an active member with the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce and in several community nonprofit events. Her tireless energy, positive attitude, and vast knowledge make her a powerful leader and a role model in the workplace. And Amy is from Jamestown, lives in Jamestown, and we're really excited, Amy, to have you on our board. So let's welcome Amy.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here and excited to get to meet all of you and see what all the fabulous things that happen in this spot. So
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
thank you.
I'd like to welcome County Executive Wendell. Thank you for joining us. Is there anything that you'd like to share this morning?
No, I just like to welcome Amy to the board and just really excited about, I say this often and it's somewhat rhetorical now, but, as you know, we can't make light, a lot of criticism publicly about the ABO. And as I was out during the last several months, there was a lot of question and people always meet and say, well, what's going on? And I said, well, you have to look at what's happening. criticism in the paper about shovel-ready sites, and the state comes back with a $5 million grant to the IDA. The state doesn't invest in something that is not going to be profitable for the state, not going to be profitable for this area or for Western New York. So I tell people, you have to look, yes, there's going to be things out there, but you have to look at the track record. There may be questions, but when the state's willing to invest millions of dollars, you look at the REDC just announced more funding. That's in part and parcel with our work with the IDA. So I really think, we need to get by, or people need to get by and pass this piece of Western New York is dying and things are going bad. We are investing money. The state is seeing this gem of Chautauqua County, investing money in the efforts of not only our businesses, but also the IDA and everything we have to do. I think you're going to hear from one of our visitors today, who I was able to get a tour of Crunchroll. I think the story they're going to tell you is phenomenal. I mean, as a national chain, if you don't mind me saying, Mark, how many stores do you want to be in? I mean, they're basically looking at this group saying, how big do you want to get? That's investment from the IDA. That's investment from our local communities in the village of Westfield. So excited. I'm not going to stop singing those praises. I'm not going to be the one that's going to get down on things and look at the negative. The glass is always half full, especially when it comes to IDA, especially when it comes to economic development. So I appreciate everybody's efforts here, and I'm going to keep saying this. We're on the right track. We are moving the needle in the right direction. We are making this isn't a rubber stamp. This isn't a group that's not doing things, doing our jobs, and we're making strides in moving this county forward. So I thank everybody. Gary, everybody who's here, I just can't say enough about the efforts that we're doing, and really excited to be part of this group.
Thank you.
Thank you, PJ.
We'll move into new business, B, Original Crunchroll Factory. And is that presented by Christine? Is she with us? Are you?
Christine, yeah, and I'm gonna
Okay.
fill in. I'm gonna pinch hit for Christine. Christine is home ill, so I said I would step in. So I'm gonna try not to talk too much because I want Mark and Zach Bone, the owners of Crunchroll, to really tell their story. But I will lay the groundwork here. They requested a loan in the amount of $400,000. Part of it is for working capital, and part of it is for a new piece of machinery and sort of the ancillary stuff around this piece of machinery. We did help Crunchroll back in 2016 with a loan and a pilot. They started out, I think it was about 35 jobs they promised. They did more than that. And now they're in a situation where their supply will not keep up with the demand. So they really need this, new piece of machinery. So I'm not going to say any more, and I'll get back after you guys talk, and then I'll talk about the loan terms, et cetera.
All right. Thank you very much, and thanks for having us. And I guess I can't thank the IDA from the beginning 7 years ago. We came and we found Westfield and did not know Westfield before that. I was born and raised in Batavia, a little small town as well. We came down to Westfield and with open arms, really quickly found there was a home here for us. And I still live in Rochester. Zach lives in Buffalo. But Chautauqua was kind of our second home now as well. I spent a lot of time in the market, as most people around here know. But we've come to a great place in our company's history that, yes, we started 7 years ago down here, a little over 7 years ago. We got down here 7 years ago, and it's been phenomenal. And it's been, it's not been all roses, but there's been a lot of positives. So here we are. We want to expand. We have the demand. I'll let Zach talk about some of the new things that are going on, but we've hit some great opportunities. And, it's not been without a lot of hard work and dedication and stuff, but, we're pretty proud of what we've built, and we want to grow it to the next level. So that's why we're here asking for the participation in the overall investment. It's about a $1.5 million investment in total to buy equipment, outfit the factory, and set it up in order to give us the opportunity to grow it to the next level. Let Zach talk about some of the fun and exciting things that are going on. and go from there.
Yeah, so, as we expand, we're, expanding both channels of our business. Of course, we have our retail, and grocery stores and supermarkets. And also we service a lot of food service operations, college campuses, amusement parks. And also, as of recently, we're on every single US military base in the commissaries. So it's some pretty exciting stuff for us. We also have some new opportunities in our retail that are really driving a lot of this in our expansion. Some national chains that we just won't be able to meet their needs if we don't have this equipment. So with this, we'll be able to open the doors and continue our growth across the country.
And I think also important to note, I mean, we had a few of the local dignitaries down for a tour. And we spent a little bit of time talking about relationship with one of the local farms, but we have a relationship with a bunch of different farms that supply us. But we also, everything we've done since we've moved down here has been with locals. Local contractors, local machine shops, local, everybody, the electricians, the plumbers, everybody's local. It's just been really been a great relationship with everybody. We're very happy to be here. Very happy to continue to grow the business here and look forward to growing it, many, many years into the future. So open for any questions. Happy to answer them if anybody's got them, whether it's here live or after. It's easy. I'm easy to get a hold of. Zach's easy to get a hold of and part of the team. So let's grow it.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. You mentioned the equipment increases capacity to potentially move into some kind of national chains. What's your current sort of footprint? I know I saw on the shelves of some regional stores and some restaurants. How far do you stretch currently?
So interestingly enough, I mean, we stretch everywhere, just around, almost around the globe now, that we're on every military base, every US military base around the world we're on. Okay, so whether that's in Japan, whether that's in Kuwait, wherever it is, wherever there is a base, we're on it. Okay, which is very exciting. We're on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, so we're up and down. We have distributors taking our product in Hawaii. We have distributors taking our product in Puerto Rico. Zach's working on a project in Saudi Arabia right now. The concentration of our business is still the Northeast, but it's grown in every other facet. So we have a great distribution partner now that really helps get our product out. And we brought that relationship together only in the last probably 5 months. So that's going to be a game changer for us too. Being in the frozen food arena, it's sometimes very expensive to move goods around the world. With this relationship, it makes it much easier.
Again, I want to make a plug. I there, we did the field to manufacturing tour, a great relationship, as Mark said, with a local farmer. But I think what most intrigued me is to look at their operation and the capacity to expand. He's, if I could share, I won't give the name, but there's a national retailer that said, we've got several thousand stores. How many do you want to be in? I mean, that's the potential this company has right now. This investment is an investment not only, in for Mark and Zach and this company, but it's an investment for the county. When you look at our manufacturing, we do have an agribusiness footprint, in Western New York and in Northeast, Northeast, part of the United States. And their connections, their product is phenomenal. So I just, I'm not getting a free crunch roll after this, but I'm telling you, I was just amazed when you watch just, how significant, but the new machine they're looking at is, going to expand their capacity. And I think honestly, if they got this one, they could probably buy another one and still probably need, more. The potential for their growth is huge, but that goes with saying their business model, they're approaching it the right way. They're walking, running, they're taking their time and making sure they have a quality product. And to get frozen food in Saudi Arabia is no easy task. But I was at the beleaguered, but I was watching a television show last night. And the one person said, if you watch Reacher, he said, the one comfort food was a Clark bar. Any military base around, you can get a Clark bar. Any military base right now, you can get a Crunch Roll. You can get buffalo chicken wing. I mean, those are the types of things that we have and Mark and Zach have created. So along with multiple companies in Chautauqua County, I'm just excited to see the growth of this, small group and how they've expanded and just really what the future has. So hats off to them and their hard work. This isn't, the investment we're making is critical, but their hard work, their determination is really what's been driving it. So I support this 100%.
Do you want to give us some details?
Yeah. So a little bit more. I wanted to also inform the board that the original amount of their loan was in 2016 was $585,000. They've paid that down to about $200,000. So they've been good payers. So they haven't missed a beat on that. The other thing I wanted to say is that this project will create 8 new full-time jobs. Very important. Also, it'll expand. They didn't talk about the mini crunch rolls, so they're going to actually offer a new product as well as expanding what they currently have. The loan committee met on November 9th to discuss the loan request, and they unanimously recommended again, it's $400,000. That's broken down by $225,000 for machinery and equipment. The financing will be over 7 years at a 4% interest rate. $175,000 for working capital, and that will be a 5-year term at 4% interest. In terms of collateral, loan will be secured by, get ready, a subordinate lien mortgage position on the real estate owned by the Bournes. I'm going to a subordinate lien assignment of rents by Original Crunch Roll Factory and Bourne Street Holdings, a subordinate lien position on all business assets, including but not limited to furniture, fixtures, machinery, equipment, inventory, and accounts receivable behind the bank and CCIDA's existing assignment. Unlimited personal guarantee provided by Zachary Bone and unlimited guarantee of Bourne Street Holdings, and then also Key Man Life Insurance in the amount of the loan provided by Zachary Bone. Do I need to say anything else?
It's good. It's good.
Is there any questions for me on the details?
Okay. Thank you. Brad, would you move new business B2 for us?
B2 Resolution 11-28-2301. Approve an outside loan, CA CARES Act Trust Fund, or a CRLF loan to Original Crunch Roll Factory LLC.
Thank you. And do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Steve, we'll do a roll call vote. Gary Henry votes aye. Brad Walters.
Aye.
Megan Sheffield Smith.
Aye.
Dan Hetzenreiter.
Aye.
Stephen Thorpe.
Aye.
Dan Demart.
Aye.
Amy Hardy.
Aye.
Thank you. It's unanimously approved, and we're certainly excited to be a part of this again, having worked with you in the past. Having grown up in Westfield, I can remember that building being just a fireman's exempt hall. So it's exciting when we see something like that turned into an economic development, jobs that are brought into our community, not only what you're employing there, but as you mentioned, all the external people that are working in there, the farmers, everybody that's involved. So we're just thankful that you've picked our county to grow this business, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move into the executive director's report.
Yeah, so I'm going to be quick here. To the point, I got 5 or 6 things real quick. There's I would say probably a general slowdown in activities, at least it seems regionally. I met with the other IDA directors a few weeks ago, and we had a long conversation. I mean, I haven't really experienced it. I don't think we've really experienced it because of, I mean, we've had several projects, it seems like every month, but I did want to give a heads up that it seems like there is a slowdown. Wanted you to know that we're closing by the end of the month on our phase 1 parcels at the Ripley Shovel Ready site. That's about 45 acres. And we hope to have that closed by the end of the year. So we're making headway. We're working on a broadband project. If you recall, the county allocated $2.5 million to the IDA to manage a process whereby we would extend broadband to all the unserved and underserved locations across the county. We've spent a lot of time on this, and we did an RFP. We broke the county into 4 segments. And there is BEAD money out there. It's called BEAD money. It's Connect All is a Empire State Development Agency that was created for all the ARPA money that's come down to the states for broadband. And that won't be rolled out until or out on the streets until 2025. And we didn't want to wait that long to allocate our funding. So we are going to contract with DFT Communications on 1 segment of those 4, which is around the Dunkirk, Fredonia area. It will serve approximately 400 unserved or underserved locations. And we're going to get that rolling here in the next couple of months. So we'll get that done. And then the other 3 segments, we still have funding available, the grant funding, which we'll leverage for another carrier to do the other 3. And they are going to be applying for the BEAD funding. That will come in 2025. But I wanted you to know that, and we passed a resolution in May, which so we don't need to approve it here. It's already been approved that we accepted the funding, and you gave approval also for us to enter into contracts for the use of that money. So that's big news. We also received $400,000 of ARPA money for the business assistance program, and we did 3 things with that. We provided grants to businesses to upgrade their marketing. We did a ESG white paper, and we also worked with Insight, and we also worked with Invest Buffalo Niagara to provide what they call their economic gardening program, where they take stage 2 companies and they help them, assist them to get to the next level. So they did this economic gardening program with 6 companies in Chautauqua County. We did roll out that ESG white paper. We sent it out to all the businesses. We have it on our website. And then in terms of the businesses that we helped with the ARPA money for marketing, we allocated funding to almost 80 businesses. And they averaged about $8,000 a piece. And if you do the math, it doesn't add up, right? But what we also did is we went to the Ralph Wilson Foundation, and they allocated almost over $250,000 because we had, and we teamed with the Chamber, we teamed with the Small Business Development Center. Crystal Earhart has been involved, and we've, so, you know, at the end of the day, and we're going back for a little bit more of the ARPA money, we hope that we can serve the remaining 6 or 7 that are still on the waiting list, because we had 85 on the waiting list, and we were able to get almost, I think, 79 as of today. Get the funding allocated to them. So a big deal, you know, new websites, marketing, you know, street level marketing, social media marketing, branding, all of those types of things. Almost 80 businesses. So that's a good one. We're also working on talent attraction campaign, where we've been working with Block Club and Clever Method. And Jason Sample has worked really hard on this, where we branded the county. We've got, and we're going to be rolling all this out in March. And you know, really looking at our social media marketing and also redoing our website. So Clever Method is, we've been working with them to revamp our entire IDA and partnership website. So that's also an ABO issue because they wanted us to have, our website is old and tired and really needed to be revamped. So we're gonna roll that out and probably in March sometime. Wanted to let you know that. What else? Oh, and then I wanted you to know that I'm not going to talk a lot right now, but in January, we'll have our annual reports will be completed for both the IDA and the partnership. We'll have 2 separate annual reports. We'll print a number of copies. We'll get them to the legislators. We'll get them to other key stakeholders, and I'll be giving a talk on all the things that we accomplished in 2023. So that'll probably be 15 or 20 minutes. So I'll leave it at that. And unless anybody has any questions.
Just kind of piggyback, that ARPA funding for the broadband is critical. One of the pillars, if you will, or the statements that we made is we wanted to make sure we kept this local. So obviously we have DFT involved in a quarter of this operation. How can you not recognize a company with 125 years of business in Chautauqua County? We could have gone to bigger firms that may have been able to bring something, but I don't think they could bring any more than the Maidips did. They're a top-notch group and committed to our community. The second piece, just another pitch to Mark. If you go to NIASAC, New York State Association, the county's website, in their recent publication, Justin from my office, our media information director officer, did a piece called CHQ, We're Here For You. And it's basically talent attraction and what we have to offer here in Chautauqua County. And we've got several comments back from other people, other counties throughout New York. And the comment is, we didn't know Chautauqua County was there and what you have. So I think that's a great tribute to, what we are doing here in Chautauqua County. I just can't say enough about it, but really excited. But to piggyback on Mark, we are doing things from, multiple angles of hitting some talent attraction, bringing people into our area. The broadband piece is critical, I feel, going forward, because with remote employment now, having that broadband accessibility to unserved areas in this community, in this county. I mean, you look at some of these picturesque places that are maybe more than a hunting cabin right now, but that's a weekend retreat for somebody from, New York, LA, Chicago. They can come here and do their business living right here in Chautauqua County with that access. So really excited about what the IDA is doing on that front, and people from outside coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks. Rich, did you want to present the treasurer's report?
I was gonna do it when Mark referenced old and tired, but I waited. Until it was my turn, because Greg perked up big, so. Sorry.
By the way, Rich, on behalf of Chautauqua County, got brand new snowblower and he's exercised at least 2.5 hours.
Works good. We had.
Seems frazzled, tired and old. That's a reason.
So we'll take a look at the balance sheet first. This is for all of the funds that are under the auspices of the IDA. Mark had talked about the broadband grant. That's included under the IDA's financials here. You'll see an accounts receivable that's 4.28 million. We've recognized that 2.5 million as a receivable. The other half of it is down in deferred revenue. We will only recognize the revenue as we expense it out. And we've had some expenditures already, even though we don't have the funds. But the funds did come in November. So we do have the funds in hand for that. So just on the balance sheet, that's really the only thing I wanted to point out, except that you can see we have some loan funds available. We have some big requests that we're waiting for to disperse. So we are getting money out the door. As Mark said, along with the banks, we're starting to see a little bit of a slowdown with people just wanting to come to us because we have a low interest rate. And as we remind everyone, we're not here to take the place of the bank. We're here to help the deal go through. So turning to the statement of revenue and expense, everything is in good shape there. I will note that the EDA CARES Act showing a slight deficit, and part of that is the bad debt expense, which is a non-cash expense, but we are recording a bad debt on there every month. Turning to the statement of revenue and expense comparisons, we'll see the application and administrative fees is down $132,000 to date on the year. We have received checks in November that will make that a positive, met our budget already. A lot of the solar projects are closing. We had 3 close right in a row. So those fees will put us over. Timing on those is iffy. You know, how the solar deals where the developers come in and develop them. And then they sell them. They sell them to a Saks, they sell them to a pension fund, they'll sell them to somebody else. So sometimes those transactions go quick, sometimes they don't. But seeing a lot of activity in the solar. All the reading I've done, the solar panels costs have gone up. Now they're coming down. So there's a lot of action in the world of solar. So we'll see. We have approximately 18 of those, more of those to close. So everything else on here is just timing. So, you know, we're showing a healthy current year positive, and I expect to end the year even better than that. So most of the things on that right-hand column are timing, such as the professional fees that we've spent a lot for the Ripley site, and we had budgeted some of that for next year, but we have the funds to cover it all. So we're in really good shape. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman, unless someone has a specific question about the financials.
If we don't have any questions, do we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll move.
Thank you, Dan. Do we have a second? Thank you, Brad. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Treasurer's report has been accepted. Thank you, Rick. Did we have some financial issues to discuss in executive session?
Loan report.
Okay. At this point, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing the financial or credit history of a particular person or corporation. In particular, I would like to discuss the status of our own portfolio and the financial and credit status of some of our borrowers, as well as some CCIDA personnel. I believe that discussing this in open session would substantially affect the value. Do I hear such a motion?
So move.
Thank you. And do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Steve, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, if you'll give us just a minute here.